Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori Bream and this is Holy City Mystic. So today we are going to talk about how to recharge according to your IC. So I'm only going to say this one time, but your IC stands for Imum Coli. And the reason I'm only going to say that once is because it's really hard to say, so that you look it up. So I'm not going to talk about each one of the signs, but I am going to talk about each one of the elements, and the different things that go into it are going to apply for all earth signs, all water signs, etc. So first of all, what is it? The IC is the very bottom of your chart. So it's going to be directly opposite from the midhaven. So the midhaven is where the sun is at high noon. This is going to be different depending on what longitude and latitude you were born on. And so if you're using a quadrant-based system like Koch or Placidus, you are definitely there's definitely the possibility you're going to have some wider houses and narrower houses. And again, with a quadrant-based house system, it's going to be in between the line in between your third house and your fourth house. However, the IC is still relevant even in a Holt sign house system. It is just going to be fully in one of the houses. So it's going to be in the fourth house, maybe even the fifth house or the third house, or maybe even the second house, depending on, again, your longitude and latitude of where you were born. So it's going to be directly opposite from the sun. So it's going to be the point under the earth that is exactly 180 degrees opposite the sun. How can you find where it is? Well, just about any chart will have it. You just have to look for IC. So I'll flip through a couple of things while I'm talking right now where you can see how to find it on different chart softwares, but it's always going to be close to the bottom of the chart, if not at the very bottom. Now, what does your IC stand for? Your IC are the roots of the tree. It's where you pull energy in. It's where you recharge. It's where you fill up your cup. It's where you get all the energy from your IC and then push it, MC, back out into the rest of the world. So it's really pulling in that energy, that life force, so that you can shoot it back out through your MC, shoot it back out into the world. If your IC is not healthy, if it is something that is just kind of ignored, it's the part of you that you feel like you don't deserve, or it's just something that, doesn't jive with the rest of your family or your environment, then that is going to affect your work directly. It's going to affect how you give things back out into the world. So it's something really important to pay attention to. It's something that you need to know about yourself so that you can protect that energy, because it's not kind to anyone else if you're not filling up your own cup, because everything that you give to them is giving from an empty cup. It's just not kind, and there's a lot of things that go into that. So another big question is, how often do I need to focus on my IC? Do I need to carve out an hour every single day? Because I don't think I have that, Tori. Are you kidding me? Is it the type of thing where I have to have like one day a week? I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody. I just know that you really have to pay attention to it. So say you're a student and you're only working part-time and you're just like really going through some stuff and you are extremely exhausted all of the time. If you can take an hour a day to focus on your IC, wonderful, do it. Say you're a busy mom of 4 who also works part-time, who's also helping a partner get their business up off the ground, and it's like you don't even have time in the day to eat, let alone think about how to like replenish your own cup. For that, make time. Even if it's an hour a week, maybe it's 10 minutes a day that you can put aside to do something that will fill up your cup, to replenish your energy, to allow you to keep going and give back out into the world. So it's really all the time that you can afford. So, depending on where you are in life, that's going to be different numbers. It's going to look completely different for each element. So just think about it. Make sure you have something going on there to fill that back up. Also, if you've been watching any of my other videos, you probably know that I look at the elements all out of order. They're technically supposed to be fire, earth, air, water, and I like air, fire, earth. I just do whatever I write down first. So first one's fire. I got that one right. Wow, I actually got most of these right. I'm gonna do fire, earth, water, air. So last two are switched, but it's fine. So the first one is fire. If you have your IC in a fire sign, which are going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, the thing that is going to fill you back up is action. It is going to be doing things. Also being a little bit selfish. And what I mean by that, not like actually taking things away from other people in a selfish way, but doing exactly what you want to do. So if you want to watch a show, you're watching exactly what you want to watch. You cannot recharge watching a show that somebody else likes that you're only okay with. It has to be something that you personally want to do. Also fun. That is something that is going to fill you back up. So if you're the type of person that loves going on bike rides, it's not even for exercise at this point. You just love it. It's so much fun. That is also going to fill you back up. Staying busy is very important. Just that movement, that fire energy, that like getting the energy out is actually what is filling you back up. So when the IC in fire is repressed, something that is going to come out of that is resentment. That feeling of like, I never do anything for myself and no one ever does anything for me. So feeling like you never get to have that selfish moment, that time that is just for you, where you are doing exactly what you want to do. And also, don't overthink this. If you want to organize your sock drawer and that's like all you're thinking about all day and that's what you want to do, you don't have to be like, well, that's not technically fun, so I guess I'm going to go do this other thing. No. Do exactly what you want to do. Like anywhere where your mind is leading you, where you're like, I kind of want to do that, go do it. It's going to help. So resentment is what comes out of it if that fire sign IC energy is not getting filled back up. So a very practical thing you can do for this, if you're just completely overwhelmed thinking about all the things that you could do that are technically fire and it's just extremely overwhelming, have a bonfire. Light a candle. Literally just look up a YouTube video where there's flames and a fireplace and maybe some binaural beats playing in the background or something like that, but have a flame present and it's going to give that energy back to you. Obviously, if you can be around a real flame, that's also going to help. Bonfires, the best, like literally the best. It's so funny because I talk to different people and I look at their charts and I'm like, okay, which would you rather be, evening on the beach, like walking along the beach with your feet in the sand and the waves and everything, or a bonfire, in somebody's backyard. And they're like, bonfire, 100%, definitely. So might be something that you want to try. Next, we're going to talk about Earth. So if your IC is in an Earth sign, it is either going to be in Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. I said those out of order. Damn it, I can never do it in yeah. So the way that an Earth person recharges is looking at things that are very tangible. So, you can even be out in the earth. So gardening, going for long walks, organizing, building towards something. People with ICs in an earth sign, something that they do a lot, which I think is hilarious, is they like check their banking app or they'll like check their investments or something like that multiple times a day, or like, way more than anybody else does, because it gives them a little hit where it's like, yes, this is where I am on the journey. This is what I'm building towards. I feel very confident right now because I'm filling that up. Also, progress checks. So these are also people who are say they're in college, they're continually counting how many credits they have to finish, or something like that, where they're like, I am exactly 60% done with this college degree. Something where they feel like they're building towards something. Also planning a vacation that you have no intention of ever taking. This is going to be something that is going to fill that earth vibe and actually bring energy back into you. So when an earth sign IC is out of balance and not filled up enough, they tend to be extremely critical. These are the people who will look at everybody else and just be like, they're not doing it correctly, I don't approve of them. All this stuff tends to come out. And they might be a very giving and loving person, and maybe their IC is like one of the only things that is in an earth sign. But if they're not filling up that part of themselves, they are giving energy back out into the world that is muted and deformed, and it tends to come out as extremely critical. A practical application for this would be walking outside in bare feet, gardening, literally getting your hands in the dirt. These are things that you can do that are physical. You're just doing them because you can't really think of anything else on the list that you really want to do. But that is something physical that you can do periodically to fill your cup back up. Next, we're going to talk about water. Now, our lovely, amazing, wonderful water signs are our emotional people. These are the people where their emotions tend to be a lot stronger. Now, when your IC is in a watery sign, it's going to be in Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. Fuck it, I'm never going to say it the right way. So one thing that is going to be helpful for these people is allowing themselves to feel what they're feeling. So if you've ever heard the term, I had a good cry about it, and it's like a good cry, like I know a lot of people, myself included, if I'm crying, it's a bad experience. I don't enjoy that. But some people, it's like somebody popped a balloon that was just too full and it was just getting so painful and they just cry it all out and then they feel so much better afterwards. That is something that you can do. Also, romance. So these are the people that might just really like those like really slow period dramas where they are just extremely romantic and there's a lot of emotions and the music is beautiful and the dresses are beautiful, like all these things. Also, doing inner child work, really like going into yourself and seeing exactly how to nurture yourself the way that you may not have been nurtured when you were younger. And really feeling your feelings, just allowing yourself to be silly and fun and letting yourself be the way that you were always supposed to be. Like, again, that inner child, just letting them come out and play. So when the IC in water is repressed, something that comes out is emotional manipulation of others or guilting. So, just being very unhappy and feeling emotionally stunted, just that water energy being very stagnant and not flowing the way that it's supposed to flow. And so kind of guilting others where it's like, well, you don't let me do this. And, I feel like you need to do this because it would help me in this certain way. So kind of just, again, spreading that contaminated energy out to other people because you're not filling up your own cup there. So another thing that is very practical that you can do pretty much any time, it's being around water. So if that's taking a shower, if that's going swimming as your exercise instead of going to spin class or whatever it is, washing your hands, even if it's the type of thing where you're working on like a really long report at work and you can't get up every 10 minutes to like go wash running water in the bathroom or something like that. Just pulling up a fountain video on YouTube or something where you still have that energy playing out for you, that's also going to fill up your cup. All right, so the air signs. If you have your IC in Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, all these things, the way that you are going to fill up your cup is by learning, speaking, exchanging ideas. These are the type of people who are always taking a class. And, people are just like, you finished your degree a long time ago. Why are you taking all these random classes that don't really have anything to do with your career? They probably have an IC and an air sign. These are the people that always have the earbud in their ear, and I'm not saying other signs don't, I'm sure they do, but they like always have something in their ear where they're listening to podcasts that are educational, or they're listening to novels or something where they're learning something, but having that steady stream of information coming in is how they fill up their cup. Also, when they're super stressed out, they tend to want to learn more. So these are the people when they feel depleted, they're the ones that like go on deep dives on the internet of like, okay, I'm going to find absolutely everything out about yods. Or different things like that, where it's like they go on these binge tours of the internet trying to get to the very bottom of some kind of thing that they're trying to educate themselves on. Now, when these people who have their IC in an air sign are not replenishing their own cup and they're very stagnant, they tend to be more detached. It's one of those things where it's like, if you have that, either you talk to yourself or you learn things from other people and you talk to other people and that's how you fill it up. And so when you tend to talk to yourself more than you're getting this information in, you block out other people. You kind of isolate yourself from other people. And it really is like a self-defense mechanism of like, I need this to survive, so I'm going to block out everything else until I can get this back up. And so if you feel yourself detaching from other people and not being very present, it would be good to check in with yourself and be like, how am I feeding my IC here? Is this something that I'm doing every day? Is this something that I need to increase? How am I doing it? Am I doing something that really isn't feeding me, but I'm viewing it as self-care? because somebody else said that it's self-care. So a practical thing that you could do if you are an air sign is just having your windows open in your home, getting that breeze in, kind of having fans on, like having that air energy where things are moving around, that can fill you back up. Also, the beach is so great for so many different signs. Like you can hit all four of them: earth, sand under your feet, wind, air, water, the waves, bonfire on the beach. Like you can literally hit everybody's IC if you have a bonfire on the beach. So if you guys have any questions or insights, I am always open to hearing about how things are going, different things that you do, different tools that you've developed over the years. So I'm just going to use a personal example really fast. My IC is in Aquarius. Yes, I have an MC in Leo. Yes, I'm a YouTuber. Hilarious, I know. But my IC is in Aquarius. I listen, what is it? All right, it's January 21st. I have already listened to 9 books this year, starting from January 1. And it's because that is how I fill myself back up. That is how I calm down when I'm stressed. If I'm working on a really lengthy report or something like that for work, if I'm listening to something at the same time, it helps keep me calm, it helps the time pass faster. It is something that I absolutely love. Also, my YouTube search history, it's everything from interior design to astrology to finances to social work to political stuff. I am so fascinated by so many different things, and it really is what replenishes my energy so that I can give it back out into the world. So I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for tagging along. And if you like this kind of content, please stick around and like and subscribe. I would love to see you back. Take care.